They're cute, they're expressive, and they're used by people around the world. We're talking about emojis.
It does a good job of getting across fairly basic expressions.
Communications professor Jeff Hayden says the cartoon representation of reality, such as emojis, is not a new concept.
It's been used in systems of expression really since the beginning of language, or written language anyway.
Before emojis, we had emoticons, which are punctuations that formed smileys and sad faces. Emoticons were created in 1982 after computer scientist Scott Fahlman suggested using them to help clarify people's tones in their messages. Then came Japanese-born emojis in 1999, more colorful and elaborate images created by telecommunications planner Shigetaka Kurita.
A greater certainty of getting your point across.
Although emojis make it easier to understand a person's tone and emotion, Hayden says it only works with simple sentences.
You drift into more complex, more abstract conversations, and then all of a sudden, the cartoons aren't really doing the job anymore.
Linguistics professor Sheila Embleton agrees.
Supplement to the written form of the text, whether it's a text message or an email.
Embleton says emojis can often express a person's body language.
It replaces some of those cues that are missing. Sometimes people may say something and then feel that it's maybe a little harsh or something, and then they'll liven it up by a, say, smiley face.
Research assistant professor Mayank Kejriwal released a study last month which looks at how people around the world use emojis. His team looked through 1.5 billion tweets used in 2016 from 30 countries, including Canada.
People are very consistent in their behavior. We also found that they are very consistent across languages.
The top emojis used by people on Twitter were laugh till you cry, red heart, and the crying emoji. The least popular included flags and music symbols.
Some cultures and some countries may be less experimental in their emoji usage.
But Kejriwal says what stood out to him was how similarly people express themselves using emojis.
Very heartwarming, to be honest. I mean, it made me feel like part of a big global community.
But just as easily as emojis can bring us together, they can also tear us apart if used negatively. Assistant professor of psychology Isabelle Boutet worked on a study that looks at the impact of using negative emojis in text messages.
If you add a negative emoji, for example, a frowning emoji or an angry emoji to that negative text message, then you're going to perceive it as being even colder.
And that's why Boutet recommends being mindful when using negative emojis.
They actually have a strong impact on how what you're sending as a text message will be understood.
Sharmeen Somani, Global News.